ये था इधर इसको। यार ये डायरेक्टर ने इतना सब बोल दिया, अब मुझे क्या पता क्या करना है। चलिए, लेट्स डू वन थिंग. Let's go and talk to a man who is actually an expert on all of these things. He is one of the most successful production designers of our industry and worked in numerous successful projects like Scam 2, Night Manager, Bestseller, Thursday, etc., etc., etc. तो चलिए बात करते हैं मिस्टर N. Madhusudan से.
Hi Anish.
Hi. Hi Madhu.
Very good.
कैसा लग रहा है हमारा सेट पहले आपको?
It's very decent.
Very decent.
Not up to my standards, but it's okay. I'm just kidding.
5, 6 out of 10?
I'll give it 5 out of 10.
That's why आपकी मदद चाहिए थी स्टार्टिंग में, जो वो भी अनसक्सेसफुल रही, but it's okay.
I'm not giving myself 10. मैं खुद को भी दे रहा हूँ ना 5.5 out of 10.
ठीक है. And coffee? Nice coffee?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
I'm very happy.
चलो, great.
Yeah.
अब आप थे इससे पहले पायलट, ठीक है?
I have a pilot's license.
You are a pilot, and technically I could be wrong, but it's technically a well settled job. It's a well settled, respectable profession. I just want to understand, मैं क्यों पूछ रहा हूँ. मैंने बहुत सारी कहानियां सुनी है एक एक्टर को या एक डायरेक्टर जो मेन स्ट्रीम प्रोफेशन है, जो ग्लैमरस प्रोफेशन है, कि वो आ जाते हैं अपनी कहानी स्ट्रगल छोड़कर ये करते हैं. बट व्हाट इज इट इन प्रोडक्शन डिजाइन जो आपको लगा कि बॉस मेरे को पायलट नहीं करना, मेरे को इसमें आना है?
I was a cabin crew with Air India.
Achha.
I also flown the Prime Minister of India for 5 years in Air India 1 as a cabin crew.
अच्छा.
But I always wanted to be a pilot. Always, all my life. So when I did my pilot's license, and I was waiting for a job. And I had also done fine arts, by the way. Before I got into aviation, I had done fine arts.
अच्छा, okay.
So then I was leading, I'm not lying, I was leading a very comfortable life. You know, I had the best of 5 hotels. I used to,
of course.
It's like saying I used to have a bath in New York, go to the toilet in London, shop in Bangkok, and come back home in the night.
And this is in which year?
Between 20 to 30, right? So 10 years back.
10 years back.
Yeah.
Okay. Relatively, I would say कि production design का concept और relatively newer होगा उस time पे.
So even now, I think in the South industry, they call them art directors. It's slowly the concept of a production designer, because it's not only the art, right? I'm also looking at other things. I'm also looking at costume. We also collaborating with the costume designers. It's like saying, see, like your shirt, it's a neutral color, right? It's going very well with this. My shirt is probably not going well with the backdrop, right? So costume designer also, like we'll tell the costume designer, you know, these are my colors. So they will also get complementary colors for the costumes. So it's not only art. We're looking at all the facets. Production designer. See, the first word is production. We are looking at the overall production.
सही बात है.
What is coming in front of the camera, that is our job. That also includes the costumes. Even though we don't influence the costumes, we suggest them that these are my color palettes. So it's a lot more things than just art. So,
तो आप बता रहे थे कि it was very comfortable life you were having as a pilot. तो वहाँ से
as a pilot नहीं. I'm a trained pilot. I have a pilot's license.
Okay.
Right. So I was waiting for a job. I could have got a job very easily. I could have been in Air India, led a very comfortable life. But something in me was itching to do something else. There was something in me that was itching to do something
आपको
else.
पता नहीं था क्या, but something else.
Like I had, like, you know, in Air India, you know, I used to do a lot of things on flight also. It's very limited scope था, but I should do things. And people would tell me, आप यहाँ पे क्यों कर रहे हो? You should be in the film industry. You should be doing something else. They all used to tell me that. So in my mind, I always had that, you know, maybe I could do something else apart from aviation. And once I made my mind ना कि मुझे ये इंडस्ट्री में नहीं रहना, एविएशन इंडस्ट्री में, and I don't want to say not famous, but I had a good rapport with the management. So they told me, when I told them, you know, I want to move, they told me whenever you want to come back, we will let you in.
अच्छा.
But मैंने decide किया I cannot have one step in aviation and one step in film industry. I wanted to keep both my steps in aviation and not look back.
Okay.
So even though it's my passion, flying, it's a beautiful thing, yaar. बहुत beautiful है.
I'm sure.
But I was very sure that I wanted to get into.
तो आप यहाँ पर आपने शुरू किया and obviously when you're starting out, you must have started as an intern.
Actually, it didn't start as an intern. I'll tell you a very funny thing.
Okay.
And so like aviation, like I told you about aviation, right? So I had a friend in the industry. There's a film called Krish.
Yeah.
Krish 3 में ना, there's a scene where Hrithik Roshan has to land a plane because the plane का hydraulics gets stopped. So my friend knew that I was in the aviation industry. So he asked me, can you help me? भाई कुछ help करना यार मुझे, उसको he didn't know the technical details. Hydraulics कैसे नीचे आती है, plane कैसे, So I helped them. By the way, this is Sabu Cyril, who is the godfather of, I consider him the godfather of the art industry. So I didn't want to say no to him. And when I helped them, I felt I belonged in that field. I don't know, there's something clicked in me that, I want to do this. So I asked, sir, can I join you? But he was like, Madhu, you're 30 years old. You have led the best of lives. You are flying the Prime Minister. You are living in 5-star hotels. This is not your job. Art industry is the most non-glamorous part of the film industry.
Correct.
We paint, we carpentry karte hum log, it's not glamorous at all. But I was very sure, sir, I want to join this industry. So he like, okay, my assistant is going to go independent. You join him. So I joined him. And I'll give you an example, okay? The first year in the industry, the full year, I made about 70,000 rupees.
Achha.
While I made more than double of that every month in the aviation industry. So it was a very big challenge for me, and I'm not lying, I don't need to lie to you.
But आपको तब thought तो आया होगा कि maybe wrong decision in terms financially, just financially.
It is not wrong, I think. I'm very ambitious in life. Like even in Air India, right? My first job was to fly the Prime Minister. I knew that वहाँ पे एक,
first job.
No, they should tell me that if you are good in the job, you'll get to fly the PM.
Okay.
So it was that burning urge in me. I need to do that. I always had that in me. So when I joined this art industry, right, when I joined the film, my urge was to do good. So I didn't want to go back. I was very clear about that. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I used to literally cry. Men cry. I know. I don't know about others. I have cried. I have gone home and cried and thinking, fuck, what have I done? Why did I leave that? This was, both think differently. Heart thinks differently.
Correct.
My heart was telling me, go back. My mind was telling me, no, you cannot go back. You have to be in this industry, prove yourself. So that was a big challenge. Second year, I made about 1,20,000. Okay. So that means in 2 years, I made about 2 lakhs, which I could have, in 1 year, in 1 month, I could have made it in the aviation industry easily. But I told myself, Madhu, look at your progress. From 75, you already reached 120. So you're only going to go ahead. You're not going to go back now.
Right.
So that was already motivation.
Of course, एक motivation तो होती है. That's increasing.
And my wife told me at that time that I will support you. Okay. She told me that if you don't have to go back to aviation if you don't want, I will help you. You just do what your heart tells you to do, and I will support you. That was a huge thing for me. That everybody needs some support somewhere.
Correct.
Like I don't have, they say godfathers and all that. I have nobody in the industry, nobody. So these were my support system, family, my own friends telling me that, it's okay, do. And that was my support system.
आप शायद एयर इंडिया के पोस्टर बॉय भी थे विजय.
I'm not supposed to talk about that.
तब से थोड़ा सा कीड़ा तो था फिल्म इंडस्ट्री का.
So see, even that, नहीं यार, I was physically fit, ठीक है. So they used to tell me, why don't you do all of these things? And I made good money. I made $400. That's a lot of money. About 16,000 rupees, right? I think something like that. I was very happy. I went to Charleston, New York. I went to Charleston in Carolina, South Carolina. 4 days chilling, एक photo shoot करना था यार, $400. While I said no to it.
Of course.
So
ये वहीं पे shoot हुआ था.
Yeah, we went to the US to shoot this.
Oh.
Sat in business class. Had the best of wines. Who will say no to that?
Of course.
I did it.
So now, if I come from, चलो pilot हो गया. Now you're in the film industry.
Yeah.
First film.
Yeah.
आपकी Stree, if I'm right.
No, first independent film.
Independent film. Yeah, of course. Independent film.
Yeah.
Stree.
Yes.
And commercially big success, huge success, Filmfare nomination.
Yes.
And What was that feeling like when all of this concluded? कि यार
पता है कैसा है? Till the time I did my first Indian film ना, I had to prove myself. Like everybody, even today they ask me, अरे आपने क्यों छोड़ा aviation यार? इतना comfortable job है. So think now as a PD they tell me that. That time they should tell me, मुझे ना अंदर से I used to get doubts, self doubts. Am I fit for this industry? You know, am I the right person? You know, every day I would go home and ask myself this: have I made the right decision? You know, why would people ask me that then?
This was how long after just second year आपने बोला?
So I actually became a PD very fast. Three and a half years I became a production designer, which is very fast.
Very fast, of course.
Yeah. But see that the 3.5 years, right? I had no social life, nothing, no partying. I used to go home, make notes. Every day I used to make notes on set. Keep like see, think of it this way. जो पहले cabin crew में चाय coffee, you know, not only that we had a lot of other things, but I used to be a cabin crew, right? From that as a pilot training करके. We come here, you don't know what is ply, you don't know what is paint, you don't know कौन से type के paint है, nothing I know, nothing. I had no idea. I only had the desire to work. Understand? That, you know, building जो बनती है ना, you like Lego, you got Lego blocks, right? You don't like, what is this? So to make this, you need to know what are these, right? You need to make the building blocks. I had no knowledge. I knew that I wanted to make this. How I make this, I had no idea. So every day I would do my homework every day. Like I said,
homework like मतलब क्या होता था homework?
So मैं पेंटर के पास जाता था. पेंटर को सब भाई भैया कौन सा पेंट लगा रहे हो? Can I also paint?
अच्छा.
So I get knowledge ना. तो मैं उनको बोलता था Can I mix the paint? I'll dirty my shirt. But I should like that idea.
Just to explore कि क्या
हो रहा है. To know. So क्या होता है ना? My workers will never respect me if I don't know what I'm telling them. Very simple.
Of course.
It's a give and take, right? They should feel कि हाँ बंदे को कुछ आता है. Only then will I tell them ना ये भाई यहाँ पे पेंट लगाओ यहाँ पे डिस्ट्रेस करो. I should know that. To know that I have to do my research, right? So that was the part. The carpenter को मैं बोलता था फल्ली क्या होता है? फल्ली is planks. Like example, कौन से wood use करते हैं हम लोग? क्या ply use करते हैं? I had to know all of that. So I would go to the carpenter. No shame. I had no shame in asking them, right? I would ask them भाई ये कौन क्या use करते हो? कौन से metal? कितने खिले? क्या types के metal होते हैं? And I should make notes. Every day I should make notes. I should go home and memorize it. Okay. So that next time when I go and talk to them, I know ki I need this material. Like example, to fix this, I need this, right? I need to fix this to make it stronger. So this, once I know this, right, I learn the respect of my team.
और कितने departments थे? Painting.
So there are, see, I'll tell you in art में क्या सब है. There is the painters, the carpenters, the fabricators, the welders. There is electricians.
Okay.
There is the setting guys जो लोग काम करते हैं, you know, the people who do the most work. जैसे table आप लोग लेके आ गए केबल, but in my industry that workers will get it ना. So there are a lot of, I have to gain the respect of all those guys, and that I did in 3.5 years.
Okay.
Every day, no, I had, like I told you, no social life. I just told myself I had to prove myself in the industry. करना है मुझे कुछ.
तो आज आपकी टीम भी है अपनी personal team है, and it's called the Vedas.
Yes, I like the name, and I'll tell you one thing. Vedas means knowledge.
Okay.
Right. That's what I'm. So when people ask me where have you studied, I tell them this is my school right now. I'm still studying. I'm still in university. I'm still learning every day. That's why I kept the company's name with the Vedas. It's called Vedas means learning, knowledge, and I like to give my team knowledge. I like to get knowledge every day on set. So I like that beautiful name, Vedas.
And it consists of ये सारे departments जो आपने अभी बोला.
Yes. I'm very happy with my team.
How big is this team? Just for an idea.
So I have about 200 workers. I have about
200 workers.
Yeah, because I'm doing 2 films at one time, right? Oh shit. I have about 14 assistants right now.
Okay.
Very, very qualified. And I'll tell you one thing that I believe in. Even if you're not a qualified architect or somebody from NIFT or NID, National Institute of Design, I'm okay with that. If you come to me telling me that you're willing to learn, and I see something in you that Anish can be hardworking, I will take you in. I'm not too rigid about because I know that you will learn in industry. But
यही आपका नाम भी suggest करता है of the company also.
Yes, I know that. See, I know that if you put in your hard work and you're willing to learn every day, you will succeed in the industry. So for me, it's that I want to give opportunity to people like me to be a part of the industry because the industry is very beautiful. You know, it can make lives very easily.
Correct.
And I believe in that. Like somebody, like my friend Rupen, who gave me a job, he must have seen something in me, na? नहीं तो मुझे क्यों लेता 30 साल का लड़का को? You would have taken somebody who's 21, 22, he saw something in me, na. I like to see that something in people, and I will take them in.
तो आप जैसे just to understand पूरा process, आप final हुए on a project, ठीक है, and you are on board now.
Yeah.
So what is the step like? Like what is the first communication? किसके साथ होती है? Director, producers? I don't know. Just like how does it work?
So first I'll tell you, my first research is with the director. You know?
Okay.
What I do is first more than asking him about the script, I first talk to the director, get to know him as a person.
उनका vision होता होगा एक script को लेकर?
Absolutely. But before the vision, I like to know the director.
Okay.
I like to know what kind of person he is, so I know whom I'm going to deal with. You know, I can know his thoughts, rigid है, कि flexible है. That way I know director का vision क्या है. I'm also learning and studying the director slowly, right? So I know that part of it. I'll be very casual. I don't talk about the film and all. I just talk to the director. Indirectly I'll get to know the person. Then I start doing my research, right? I will speak to the director, get to know his vision. कि क्या चाहिए sir, you know, उनको what vision he has, large scale, over the top, realistic zone, what zone he wants. I'll start doing my research on that. Then I start getting my own ideas, because see, I can't. If the director, see, why do they hire a production designer? Because I'm getting my vision, right? I'm doing my research and getting. If I don't get my vision, you don't need a production designer. You need an art director.
ऐसा होता होगा ना, जैसे आपने बोला, it's relatively a newer thing in India still. And बहुत सारे directors अभी भी थोड़े conventional, you know, like with rigidity in thought. I have like personally experienced a lot of creative arguments between directors and DOPs.
Yes.
कि scene जो भी उसमें technical.
Yes.
तो आपको भी फिर मजा नहीं आता होगा कोई, if someone is very rigid with a certain thought.
See, simple सी बात है. At the end of the day, the director is the captain of the ship.
Correct.
Right? It's his baby. We are only helping him. So, you know, they say director, DOP is right hand man, production designer, left hand man. We have to work together. There will always be creative differences. Always. See, as long as the differences are for the betterment of the film, it's okay. You cannot have egos in that. Like, see, you're the director, Anish. Okay. I'm telling you, I don't like this cup. It's a blue cup. No, yaar, it's not going to match this. I want some other color. You are saying, no, I want this cup only. So, as a PD, my job is to tell you, I'm hired as a PD. My job is to tell you, according to me, this is going to look good. I'm very sure that this is going to look good. But if you insist till the end, no, it's not going to, then at the end, you are the captain of the ship. Right? I have to give you what you want. But it's my job. It's my job to tell you that it's not going to look.
Correct.
It's not going to look good. That's my job. And if I don't do that, then I'm not honest to my craft. Right? I will tell you that. Till the end of the day, I will tell you what's not good and what's good for the set. That's my job. And I have had instances. So I will not name the people.
Let's not name anyone. बस
एक बार हुआ था when you know, the set was beautiful set. Okay, full wood polished and all those things. And the director insisted on getting a plastic chair on the set. And I said, no, it's not going to look nice. A plastic set chair will not look nice with the backdrop, with the setups.
Correct.
But he insisted on it. And then he screamed at me. ठीक है. I told the same thing that I'm telling you right now. मैंने उनको बोला, sir, it's not going to match the aesthetics of the look. You know, आपको जो chair है ना, I can give you a wooden chair also.
Correct.
Right. I can give you some other chair which complements the setup. A Nilkamal chair will not match that location. But he insisted on it. So, you know, if I had ego, I could have walked out and said, no, you don't teach me my job. You know, ऐसे हो सकता था. I could have walked out. But no, at the end, I also have to look at, subconsciously, I should also tell myself that, you know, you have to step back sometimes. He is the captain of the ship, you know. I have to help you in the
कहीं ना कहीं तो you'll have to, anybody has to.
So you know, कैसे होता है in the film line, I cannot always compromise also, right? Then I'm insulting my own craft, right? Then I don't know my job, right? So I have to pick and choose my battles. Where I really feel ना कि नहीं, no means no, I will put my foot down and say no means no.
ठीक है.
That's my job to tell you that. Right?
Of course.
I have to respect my field, right? All I'm doing is to respect my field at the end. So I will tell you no means no sometimes.
ठीक है.
It's not going to work.
तो अब अगर जैसे मैं बोलूँ कि फॉर एग्जांपल कोई एक प्रोजेक्ट होगा जिसमें इट्स ऑल क्लोज्ड इंटीरियर्स में काम चल रहा है एंड यू हैव टू डिजाइन दैट लाइक, और लेट्स कंपेयर, प्रॉब्ली आपने अभी नाइट मैनेजर करी है, है ना? ब्यूटीफुल फिल्म एंड ऑफ कोर्स इफ आई हैव टू सी जो अडेप्टेशन है जिसकी वो, इफ आई हैव ऑलरेडी सीन इट, इट्स अ वेरी यू नो काइंड ऑफ अ लैविश ओपन and you know kind of very, मैं बोलूँगा सब कुछ environment वगैरह include करके you do kind of planning. Compared to something like आपकी short film For example, Sin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that was, I think, in a closed interior.
So Sin was actually in a place in Kerala.
Okay.
It's a jungle setup.
Jungle setup. Oh, then I'm wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but can I go back to one topic?
Of course. Of
I'll
course.
tell you about my process. Right. So first is ideating. Get ideas. Get my references in. So क्या होता है? A director calls for references. Just for the fact that we are both in sync. My vision and his vision is in sync. So when I get my ideas initially, he knows. So step 1 is ideating. ठीक है? Step 2 is getting my team. It's very important to get a team, right?
Correct.
Horses for courses बोलते हैं ना. I should get a team which will match the aesthetics of the film. Like if it's a period film, I'll get people who I know can crack a period film.
Based on their experience.
So I will do my research on that also, right? So once my team is got in, we will do research on the film, right? We will do character extraction. So we also have to be a little creative. Like I told you, actor will do his work. मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ, right? So I dwelled into the character. So character ऐसा है कि he is not worried about Stree.
ये राजकुमार राव की, हाँ.
Right? His name is Vicky.
हाँ.
He is not worried about, he's not worried about the booth जो भी है. But I know अंदर से everybody is scared. We don't show it out, right? तो मेरा एक small tweak मैंने क्या किया था? I was behind him उनके पीछे I put a मूर्ति like a mannequin. और वो mannequin I don't show a face and I put the same costume जो Stree में भी होती है. So what I'm trying to show from my production design is subconsciously everybody is scared. We don't show it out. So exactly behind him I put that.
Acha.
And like what kind of tweaks I did, like Vicky, right? So I put like a V sign and a key, like his logo. Like he's like a wannabe guy. So I did all those tweaks on his swing machine. Or swing machine maybe we didn't show it out, but like example ये भी दिखा नहीं actually film में. So but मैंने क्या किया? I took inspiration from DDLJ. When Anupam Kher tells Shahrukh ये मेरे डैडी है जो काम नहीं किया है, all those things. तो मैंने भी क्या किया था? See, he has a sewing machine का shop जो बाप के है जो he takes over. तो I had put like a sewing machine from the 1970s. So उसको मैंने लिखा था 1963 to 1970. उसके बाद I got a newer generation sewing machine. I made like a museum in the house.
अच्छा.
So this is my research. How do I enhance the character?
But कितना fascinating है ना to work on a project like this. That too first project, independent first project.
First independent Bollywood project. My first independent project was The Sin that you talked about.
Okay.
But that's a non-Bollywood film, right? That's an independent film in the South with Santosh Sivan, a legend. Santosh Sivan.
Yeah.
Now I'll talk about this also. How do I become a production designer? It's very important. By people who see me on set, they give you a first job. So they saw me. Santosh Sivan sir, who's a legend, he saw me working. He said, Madhu, you should go independent now. You are ready. I said, sir, how do I become ready? I should get now. Approach. It's not easy to become, a baby's first step. My first step as a baby was getting into the film industry, right? That was but how does a baby walk and how does a baby run? Running is a PD part of it. That running was Santosh. He saw me on set. He saw something in me. He said that, you can go independent. So he said, why don't you do my film? I said, are you sure you want to take me? I'm not director. I'm not a production designer. He said, no, I trust you. You can do something. And that was my first break. So I was so fortunate to have Santosh, the legend of the film industry, who saw potential in me. And I got my first break. When I was doing that, Raj and DK, who jo film Farzi aayi hai, legends again, right? Legends. The most coolest guys I know. They told me, we are doing a project called Stree. Would you want to be part of it? I said, yes, I want to be part of it. And that's how it, they say luck by chance. It's not luck. Luck is not the luck part of it. Luck is all the hard work you have done. Being in the right place is important. But that luck, you get luck only when people see potential in you.
आप opportunities के लिए prepared रहने चाहिए.
You're prepared
always.
For that.
Yeah.
It's not luck. There's nothing called as luck. Luck is all of these things.
Correct.
Your hard work that you put in. Then being at the right place at the right time is that luck part of yours. But for being there, all of the hard work that you have put, it's like have you heard the story of a bamboo tree? Have you heard it?
I think so. आप अगर बताएंगे तो.
So you put the seed in the ground and you don't see any results.
Yeah.
You don't see anything. So that was the homework that I put was all of these. I didn't see. मैं 2 साल रो रहा था. What? It's not like there was no progress. There was progress. I didn't see the progress. Right? After 6 years, the tree shoots up and becomes a huge bamboo tree. Right? that is how it is.
अभी बस एक रिजल्ट एस्टैब्लिश कर लेते तो आज की डेट में आप व्हाट इज योर वर्क, वो कितना प्रोजेक्ट्स आप कर रहे हैं, कहाँ कर रहे हैं, जस्ट I want to see the result and just audience should know your result.
I have done about 14 independent films.
Okay.
Right? I've done some of my, every film, it's like all of them are my babies. I got 14 babies right now. Hashtag, so because it'll, not hashtag, the asterisk, because it'll keep on going. Every film is notable, but the more famous ones were Stree, Scam, Night Manager.
A Thursday.
It was, by the way, the most watched film.
Yeah. Of
in
course.
the OTT platform last year.
Can we talk about A Thursday?
Yeah. So while Stree was commercially famous, the biggest challenge for me as a production designer was A Thursday, because the building was made by me. You know, that's not a real building. I made the entire building.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Achha.
So that was the biggest challenge. Now again, my job. So they wanted to shoot this in Film City, and I said no. I said, I want the place to look believable, you know. It should feel like the Prime Minister is coming to a place which is congested. I wanted to show that out. So I was very insistent that we do it in Raj Kamal's studio, which had buildings around it. And the best part is, now again, my work. So we had to convince the buildings around us that we had to paint the buildings. Because that was my production design, my color palette was one tone. You know, I wanted to show it like Malabar Hill, like a Hiranani, rich building, right? Prime Minister will not come to a random building. I wanted to show. So the brief that was given to me was we have to make it look like the best looking play school in India. That was the brief I got. That's the only brief I got.
Correct.
They said do whatever you want, but the brief should be that. And so what I did was I painted. I took permission from the buildings. We told them that we are going to paint the buildings according to our color palette, and they agreed to that, thankfully. And every building that you see in that frame that you see, you will not believe that it's a film set. And in fact, I'll tell you one thing, by the way. So Yami Gautam her manager had ordered something from Zomato. Okay. And she said, buy set pe aajana. He waited for 30 minutes outside it's a true story. He waited for 30 minutes outside the set.
Okay.
Because he did not believe that that's a film set. He thought it's a real building. I swear to you, she came and told me this.
तो बहुत proud feel हुआ होगा.
That was the best feeling a production designer can get.
Course.
Remember I told you that sets have to look believable. Even before the film started, I knew that my work was done. I made a believable set. So till date, nobody believes that it's a film set. They think it's a real building के अंदर हमने shoot कर दिया हो. You know.
एक और I think एक proud feeling है आपकी A Thursday को related जो आपने बताई नहीं है.
क्या?
आप खुद एक्टिंग भी कर रहे हो उसमें?
अरे गलती से हो गया यार.
एक छोटा सा सीन हमने तो देखा था, उसके बारे में बताइए. एक्टिंग से क्या रिलेशन?
By the way, they wanted my son to be one of the kids.
Okay.
So I asked my son, you want to? He like, no papa, film industry very boring. So my 5-year-old son told me that it's very boring. और मैं तो हमेशा सेट पे रहता हूँ. So they were like, मधु तू कर ले यार डैडी का रोल. So of course they auditioned me.
Oh, you gave an audition?
I mean audition मतलब एक कैमरा के आगे रख दिया बेहद में भाई तू कर ले. Let's see. So I did that and he like, but I'll tell you why they did that. Because I was doing multiple films also, right? Now they wanted me to be on set for some more time. So they know that if I'm going to act, I'm always going to be on set for those 4-5 days. So Ashley, who's a producer, that was his idea to keep me on set.
Which brings me to another question.
Yeah.
I have heard, not talking generally, I have heard कि जो production वाले होते हैं, production designers, when the actual shooting starts, वो set पे नहीं जाते, and it's their assistants working on the set. It's a myth or it's a reality. I don't know. I just want to hear from
not
you.
a myth. Ideally, we want to be on set all the time.
Okay.
We definitely want to be on set. But see, our schedules are not so comfortable for us to be on set all the time. Right? आज मैं अनिश का घर सेटअप कर रहा हूँ. कल I'm probably setting up Amish का घर. I have to be on that setup also, ना?
Correct.
I can't be on this set. Then वो set का tomorrow when the director comes on set, he's like भाई कहाँ पे?
But ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना? Maybe on set you've all done your planning and everything is done till then.
So that's why we have a team, na? We have a qualified team, na? The art director you're talking about. So the art director will be on set all the time to handle the shoot. My job is also to do forwards, na? So that when you come tomorrow on the other set, the set is ready for you. Then I keep moving. So it's not like I don't want to be here. I cannot be here. That's the only thing. So it's not like I'm going home and playing PlayStation or Xbox.
तो अब मैं समझ रहा स्टार्टिंग में हम वो सेट करा रहे थे पूरा,
हाँ.
वही कराना था वो, अब क्योंकि एक्टिंग का एक वो दे दिया आपको तो उससे वो करे।
नहीं यार, नहीं, इट्स नॉट लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू बी ऑन सेट,
नहीं सर, ऐसे
आई डोंट हैव अ
हाँ,
चॉइस, आई हैव टू बी ऑन द फॉरवर्ड्स।
हाँ, बट आपने और भी थोड़ी एक्टिंग करी है, और भी थोड़े थोड़े सीन बताओ ना प्लीज।
See, I'll be honest to you. That is not my profession. Understand? My bread and butter, which is like my religion. My religion is film industry, and my religion is the art of the film industry. That's my. I cannot disrespect my religion at the end. This is my religion. Every day, I pray for my art. That's my only religion. I don't believe in anything else. Right? I respect my religion. I will not compromise on it. Everything else is secondary.
Okay.
Understand? ब्रेड एंड बटर ये है, अगर चीज है ना, दैट इज माई चीज, द आर्ट, तुम लोग बोल रहे एक्टिंग, दैट इज माई चीज, माई ब्रेड एंड बटर इज माई आर्ट, आई विल नॉट डिसरेस्पेक्ट इट एवर.
बट यू लाइक इट if wait, as a cheese, if you consider, we always like these toppings.
Like I said, those toppings are secondary.
हाँ.
If I have free time, I will do it. Simple सी बात है.
ठीक है.
If I have free time, this I will never get into it. Never. That's it.
It's a night manager. Night manager ka what was the experience?
So night manager, they had some other PD before me.
Okay.
But I think he had some medical issues. So he could not continue the project.
अच्छा.
So I did most of the film.
This was mid में या फिर pre-production के mid में?
नहीं. I think they did about 15 to 20 days.
Okay.
I did about 40 days of the film. I did most of the chunk of the film, right? I'll tell you one good thing. Like, see, the director told me, have you seen The Night Manager, the original show? And I said, no, I have not seen it, and I will not see it.
Correct.
Because if I see it, I'm influenced by that. Okay, he said, no, you should see. I said, no, I will not see it. Right? I'm very clear about that. Because if I see something, I'm influenced by it. Right? I mean, I don't want to see it. I want to get my vision into this film. Right? So I was very clear about that. And when the film ended, I will not lie to you, Tessa, who's from the UK West, she told me that my work was better than the original show. So that was a huge compliment I got. Of course. There was nothing better than that. So I took that as a compliment, and I was very happy with it. And then we move on, right? We move on to the next project after that.
Correct.
It was a challenge also because Night Manager, the scale is huge, yaar. Actors kitne bade hai, yaar. Anil Kapoor, Aditya Roy Kapoor, big actors. You cannot compromise on a set. And we also had tight budgets to work on. So that's when Indian Jugaad comes into play, right? We do Jugaad. Art is also Jugaad, How can we try to save money? How can we, wall के लिए budget नहीं है तो flex का wall लगा दो. Flex is very cheap.
Yeah.
So those are the Jugaads we do. So I'll give you a small example, right? I have 100 rupees, right? They say give you 100%, right? So that is my job. I'll give you my 100% all the time. But director always wants little more. Director wants 125%. Always. भाई ये भी कर लेना. But वहाँ पीछे मेरे producers है who only have budget of 75 rupees. Right? So he is 75, I am 100, you are 125. Now how do I bring it together?
But at that level also जुगाड़ चल रहे हैं, मतलब उनके तो lavish production budgets होते होंगे.
I can tell you for a fact, even a Yashraj will have budget restraints, even a smaller production house will have budget restraints. Because
lifelong यही करना है.
Because उनका budget restraints are उनके scale पे.
हाँ, of course. हाँ.
Their scale probably will be a 2 crores का set, but उसमें they'll have budget restraint. Or maybe a smaller production house will have a set of about 30 lakhs. They'll have their own challenges. So that battle will always be there. My job is how do I please the director, the cameraman, the DOP and the producer. That is my biggest challenge. How do I keep all of them happy is my job. That's how it works.
जैसे नए production houses are like Applause.
Yeah.
And these they're making modern content have risen so much.
Yeah.
Compared to जो थोड़े traditional production houses है.
Yeah.
उससे does it influence the thought process in terms of how the production is going?
See, at the end, everybody wants to make an honest film. कोई भी production house, right? Everybody wants to do their best. Everybody has their own budget restraints. Everybody has, right? Like right now, like you said, Applause. I'm doing Scam with Applause. Right?
Okay.
So they are. See, the scale of Scam is huge. Scam 2 had 310 locations.
Scam 2?
Yeah, 310 setups we had.
Okay.
Massive setups.
Okay.
Massive setup means not in terms of setup construction wise, but in terms of like example, like police station बना दिया, एक court बना दिया.
Got it.
Basically, we had 310 locations. So they had a lot of challenges for them also, right? It's not a small project. It's a huge project. Scam is well known all over India. So so we cannot compromise on the production design part of it. We cannot.
And plus I think because you're telling a story जो पुरानी है,
Period film
हो गया. हाँ.
Yes, I cannot show brands, I cannot show anything which is contemporary. Everything has to be researched. Everything has to be researched. I cannot show anything new. पता चला कल मीम पेज में आ गया मेरा नाम या किसी के नाम पर, एक
हमारे लिए अच्छा हो जाएगा.
एक मीम था of a medical student somewhere in the south industry, and they had some biology, they were medical students but they had law books in their hand.
Oh.
So that became a meme. आजकल
जैसे वो गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स में हुआ था, वो स्टारबक्स का वो रखा हुआ था.
The coffee that we are drinking, by the way. Cheers.
A lot of work. फिर तो
so if you think of it from that point of view, even a Game of Thrones can make mistakes, right? But our job is to minimize those mistakes. That's all. We have to be honest to our craft, minimize whatever we can, and I'm talking about the production houses again now. So that is their challenge. Then comes Ellipsis that I'm doing working, who have done great films like Loop Lapeta and this film, the film on the aviation with Sonam Kapoor.
Neerja.
Yeah. So they have done some great work. So now we are doing an honest film with them. I'm doing a film called Rana CO.
Okay.
We are going on floor day after tomorrow, by the way.
Oh.
So nice. I should be working. I'm sitting with you. I should be working right now.
Okay.
So each production house has their own challenges.
Okay.
But once you establish yourself, you're still learning, right? You're still interpersonal relationship, always learning, right? So you're learning how they work. You tweak your style according to them, but you don't compromise on your core, right? What is my identity as a production designer? I cannot compromise on that identity.
आप बता रहे थे about सैफ अली खान.
Yes.
कि green tea पसंद थी तो.
So see how industry works, how everything is connected. So I was, this was towards the end of my aviation industry, and Saif Ali Khan was on a flight, first class में बैठा था, classy guy, very classy, and he wanted green tea, and I had it personally with me.
Okay.
So I gave him green tea, and I asked him where is he going, and we had a small conversation, ठीक है, for 10 minutes. 6 months later, I'm doing Happy Ending with him, the movie. Sorry, the movie, not the Happy Ending. I'm doing a movie, Happy Ending with him. And I tell him that, do you remember 6 months back you were going to Frankfurt and I offered you green tea? He's like, yeah, I know somebody offered me. I said, that was me. He's like, he could not believe it. He's like, what the He's like, you were in the aviation, how is it possible?
कोई भी ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस, क्योंकि आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी टफ जॉब, बड़ा रिस्की जॉब है. कल को और इतने बड़े बड़े सेट होते हैं, इधर उधर हो जाए कोई भी ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस आपने अभी तक देखा है कि जहाँ पे
इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेफ्टी
सेफ्टी
एक्चुअली मैं मेरे एक्स बॉस के साथ बैठे थे, वी आर सिटिंग, और एक 4K फेल डाउन वेरी क्लोज टू अस, 6 feet फ्रॉम अस, एंड वी रियलाइज लाइफ इतना शॉर्ट है यार, यू कुड हैव लॉस्ट योर लाइफ दैट डे. हैड इट फॉलोन ऑन माय हेड, दैट्स इट गॉन.
अच्छा,
आई वुड हैव बीन डेड. बट वो फॉर्चुनेट था कि कुछ नहीं हुआ. सो ऑन सेट वी ऑलवेज सी टू इट दैट we try to minimize incidents, we try to minimize damages. And I'll give you one example. I don't like to take names, but I really have to take this name. So I was doing a song promo for Shahrukh Khan for the film Happy New Year.
Okay.
ठीक है. और Happy New Year में I had to create a rig. So under my boss, I had to create a rig.
ठीक है.
जो moving rig, and उनके एक power was attached to the rig. So that one leg was attached, and they could do forward, backwards, and they would not fall down. ठीक है. तो वैसे rig बनाया था. So there were these female talent who were around Shahrukh Khan, and he was dancing. And so see, like I told you, I tried to maintain safety standard, but क्या होता उनके गाने का moment में ना, one of the girls lost her balance and she fell down.
Oh shit.
Okay. And तो मेरी भी फटी because हमने rig बनाया था. So Shahrukh stopped the shoot, and he said, till the girl is taken to a hospital and she's taken care of, he cannot start the shoot because he would not feel it right to start the shoot. And hats off. I mean, of course, he has a huge, great personality, very hardworking guy. I had seen that on set. But this aspect of his, I was like mind blown. You want to see this to happen in every unit.
यही reason है वो इतने बड़े उस पर है.
He's a superstar यार. By the way, शाहरुख का याद है, आपका भी डिम्पल शाहरुख जैसी है by the way.
Thank you.
शाहरुख जैसे
किस्मत भी वैसी हो.
इंशाल्लाह. touch wood. But yeah, that was a very good thing I saw.
मुझे ना ये लगता है जैसे मैं सेट पे जाता हूँ, तो हर कोई कंट्रोल में होता है जो अपने रिस्पेक्टेबल, तो ऐसे बीच में जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है ना, जब भी प्रॉब्लम कुछ होती है सेट पर, से होता है सेटिंग, ऐसे बुलाते हैं.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है. और बस ये अजम्पशन होता है और वो कर लेंगे हैंडल.
Correct.
ठीक है, क्या आपको लगता है ये एक रिस्पेक्टेड वर्ड है?
I mean, you can call them art team, you can call them art, setting. How do I say it's not a respected word? Because you can call them, अगर तो आप जो बोल रहे हो अभी, even if you say art, it will remain the same thing. Right? Is that a respected thing to say? Because at the end they're doing their job, ना यार. So,
बट इनकी वैल्यू ऑब्वियसली सेट पे तो बहुत ज्यादा है.
see, we don't realize it. Okay, we don't realize what they do. Like, you know how it's like, you only see the actor in front of the camera, you only see these things, right? We see the glamour part of it. We don't realize कि जो लोग पीछे है ना, ये लोग, they make the set. Their value is so important to a film. We don't give them so much importance, you know, which again brings me back to the union part of it. Union sees to that they get paid. They get paid good amount of money. So, you know, that way the union helps also indirectly.
आप एक बुक लिख रहे हो.
Yes.
What the F? क्योंकि बोला गया है F.
You know, if my family is watching, please, कान बंद कर देना.
Let's say
the name of the book is What the fuck is production design? Because nobody knows what production design is.
हाँ, तो आपको ये नीड लगी ना कि ये हमें इस बारे में एक बुक लिखनी चाहिए आपको.
Yes, because nobody knows what production design is. Nobody knows, because they know what a camera guy, you know, what a cinematographer does, what a director does. They don't realize what a production design really means. You know, they don't realize. They know costume designer, you know, costume, you know, we make very good looking actors look good and all. But what does production design mean? Like I told you, it's not only set design. There's a lot more things that is involved in production design. So I felt it was being part of the industry and being an outsider coming into the industry, I had to tell people who are outsiders what the fuck is production design. So,
आपने कहा आउटसाइडर.
Yeah.
करेक्ट. नाउ कंट्रोवर्शियल नहीं जाएंगे बिकॉज आउटसाइडर पे एक ही चीज हमें हमारी डिस्कशन में आती है. बट
Yes.
मुझे बस ये जानना है कि जैसे नाउ कोई भी एक एस्पायरिंग इंसान है जिसको प्रोडक्शन डिजाइनर बनना है.
Yes.
ठीक है, नो इंडस्ट्री कॉन्टैक्ट्स,
Yes.
नथिंग, कुछ नहीं.
Yes.
पहले तो आपने तो खुद से ट्रेनिंग करी सब
Yes.
कुछ, जैसे आपने बताया आप रोज जाके पढ़ते थे, रिसर्च कर रहे थे. बट जिसको कोई आइडिया नहीं है इन टर्म्स ऑफ फॉर्मल एजुकेशन, अगर मैं बोलूँ, ड्रामा स्कूल्स है, फिल्म स्कूल्स है,
Yes.
इसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
So there are schools which teach you fine arts, like NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology. They have courses. NID has courses. Whistling Woods has courses in production design.
Courses, अच्छा, they are called production design.
Yeah, I mean, NIFT does not have course in production design, but there are institutes which teach you production design.
Okay.
But you know, it's very important. See, unfortunately I do not have that foundation, right? But it's important to have a basic foundation in the entire industry. You
Correct.
have some knowledge.
Kuch
It's
knowledge,
important.
हाँ.
See, not everybody is fortunate like me to succeed, or maybe I'm still succeeding, or maybe I'm still evolving. Not everybody has that. How do I say it? Yeah, not everybody.
Resources, कुछ भी, मतलब just.
Yeah, so it's good to have the knowledge, but it's not a sure success that वो knowledge के साथ you will succeed in industry. You know, when I joined the industry, right? You know, I applied for NIFT. I did not get through it.
Okay.
But my first 4 interns were NIFT graduates.
अच्छा.
They were working under me. So it's not like it's a one-upmanship on me. And at the end, they left the industry. You know, they left because they are not able to survive in the industry. Industry, you know, it's not so easy. You have to have a thick skin. You know, there are a lot of other things that is required to succeed in industry. It's not the only knowledge and talent. ऐसा नहीं होगा. There are so many other things that you have to have that burning desire to succeed in the industry. You know, 12 घंटे काम करते हैं यार. It's not easy. You know, people want the Saturday Sunday off. We don't have that.
तो आप ढूंढते कैसे हो ऐसे लोगों को जो आपके लिए काम करे?
वो ना एक्सपीरियंस से पता चल जाता है यार. When I interview somebody who wants to join me ना, I get an idea कि कितना बर्निंग डिजायर है बंदे में, कितना हार्ड वर्किंग हो सकता है बंदा. आई गेट दैट आइडियाज.
ये तो बट तब करते होगे जब आपके पास खुद अप्रोच कर रहे हैं. आई जस्ट वांट टू से फॉर एग्जांपल ऐसे मोमेंट्स भी आते हो जैसे एक्टर्स में आते हैं आजकल. कभी कभी कास्टिंग है प्रॉपर, वी फाइंड पीपल, ठीक है. अब इसमें क्या है, अब ऐसा तो कुछ तरीका नहीं है, एक फिक्स तरीका कि आपको कोई जॉब प्रोफाइल भेज दे या कुछ, पता नहीं, मतलब इट्स जस्ट सो रैंडम.
सी यार, इवन टुडे आई कैन चैलेंज यू एंड टेल यू दैट द बेस्ट इन द इंडस्ट्री cannot guarantee that they will get the right people. Even today I'm telling you, I'm sure I'll make mistakes in finding the right person. But क्या होता है, the more you get experience, ना, you minimize those errors with knowledge, with experience. ना, you minimize those kind of people who can be a negative impact in the industry in my department.
Okay. You
know, like example, I will never allow any girl in my team to be harassed or made fun of. I'm very clear about that. If you, Anish, example, and there's a girl here, what's your name?
Yaashi.
Yaashi, example, right? So suppose Yaashi and you are in my team, and I feel that you are making fun of her, you're making her uncomfortable. You'll be out. Okay. I don't care how good you are then. I'm very clear about these things. So these are the mistakes. So these mistakes you cannot do in research. No? You will see it on set only. No?
Correct.
So those are the mistakes. So that's why I'm saying there cannot be any short way of finding the right person. We are also evolving, you're also learning. But we try to minimize that errors with experience.
But ये तो चलो it's a personality thing I would say.
Personality thing.
हाँ, more of like अगर मैं skill की बात करूँ. Just अब मैं ऐसे सोच रहा था कि मतलब कल को अगर जैसे हमारे पास corporate world के लिए भाई एक naukri.com है, LinkedIn is a very big thing there. तो अगर ऐसा कुछ कल को actors के लिए still मैं बोलूँगा it's easier because of the castings and all of that. But like for the people who are actually working behind this, there is nothing for now.
There is no casting. I don't tell you by ये wall set up करके दे. I don't. What I can do, what I do sometimes is I give them a piece of paper. Okay, like let's say you, since you're sitting next to me, I'll give you this book. Okay, and I'll tell you, Anish, this is my book. I'm looking at a room. Why don't you design a room for me? Okay. Then what happens, I get an idea of what your thought process is. Correct. And I do that sometimes. I give them a piece of paper, plain piece of paper. I tell them, why don't you design me a living room? Why don't you design me a cafe? Why don't you design me a hospital? That way I get an idea, basic idea I get of what your thought process is.
तो वो लेकर नहीं आते आपके पास ऐसे designs?
That is, I don't know ना. I don't know if you're done, inspired or taken photos and drawn it ना. This is in front of me.
Oh, हाँ, of course.
I know exactly what you're going to give me, right? So that's what happens. These are the things I can try to do to see that I get a right candidate for my job. That's what I do.
Just a second thought that I think मेरे हिसाब से किसी भी industry को to thrive, and I think Indian film industry is thriving and they have grown like since the time आप भी join किए. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है professionalism is a very big part of it. जो हम South की इतनी बात करते हैं, there's huge amount of professionalism.
Yes.
So जब professionalism की बात आती है like सही तरीके से सब कुछ किया जाए, जो भी आपके तौर तरीके हैं. So is it something the way forward, especially since the OTT has come in, like the professional terms of making, probably employing people and getting them on board, is it something जो probably is required?
The biggest thing OTT has done is because you've got clients now, they see to that people are paid, right? Nowadays we sign contracts, like even for me, I sign a contract where I have to give an NOC before I release my last amount of money that I have paid all my vendors and all my workers are paid for. So, there are these structures in place where we see to it that nobody is not paid. Industry also is evolving. By having these structures in place, industry is slowly becoming a more corporate kind of structure, which is not a good thing, not a bad thing. It's both. Old school people not like this. New school people will like this because they're getting assurance. Correct. That ye ho raha. People are getting paid for what they do. Correct. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have.
So just one last question of the day.
Yeah.
And a very simple one, I would say.
Yes.
A little philosophical. Where do you see yourself down the line? आपका ultimate कहते हैं ना, मेरा ये milestone है life का.
Yes.
कि यार ये करना है मेरे को. So what is your milestone of your life for yourself?
To be very honest, even if I don't get any award, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But when I retire, I want to tell myself that I've done my best in the industry and I've done every genre that I wanted to work in.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Like I told you, my first film, I was nominated for Filmfare Award. My very first film, right? So that's a good kick I had.
Of course,
right? But I'm not, like I told you, I don't like to regret what I have not got. Like I told you, right? Big production houses, I said no to it. So my only regret personally would be not to have done one genre that I wanted to do. When I retire, I want to see to it that I've done everything. Biggest thing that I want to do is when I leave the industry, I want people to tell me that I have made the industry a little better in terms of my designs, in terms of my work.
Could be establishment of this production designer as a profession.
Yes, I want the people who have worked under me, when they succeed, I want them to tell, I learned something from Madhu.
Correct.
So those are things that will really, really make me feel happy. That's all I want.
Anything else आपको हमारे साथ share करना है?
No, I how do I say it? Like I told you, I'm evolving every day, right? So I'm a student. So like I told you, if I can make people around me happy on a set, It's very, very, very stressful. Trust me, film industry is very stressful. If I can make people around me happy, if I can make people learn something under me or with me, I will be the happiest. And why I know I'm in the right path. Most of the production houses I've worked with, they have called me for the next project. That means I'm in the right path.
यही चाहिए बस industry.
Yeah,
Technically, if you see that is you just want that recall value to increase.
Yes. That is the biggest thing I can ask for. Like even Scam, the producer, right? One of the EP saw me 10 years back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he saw me 10 years back, and he had told me 10 years. He had told me, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. And I had told him, I'll want to work with you when I feel I'm ready to work with you. I have to justify it. 10 years later, he gave me Scam. Scam season 1 was offered to me first. I mean, not first. I don't know first. I was offered to me. I could not do it because I was doing Tribanga. Tribanga is with Renuka Shahani, the actor. Beautiful. One of the nicest people you ever know. And it was her first film, right? So she told me, Madhu, yaar.
With Kajol, I think, yeah?
Yeah. So she had told me, Madhu, yaar, I really want you, my first proper film, help me. So I said no to Scam 1 that time. Like I said, I have no regrets. I got Scam season 2 then. So that's how industry, it'll always find a way. We'll always find a way to, the dots will always somehow be connected.
Baki, thank you so much,
Thank you so
Madhu.
much,
I think
Anish.
it was...
Thank you so much.
आपको लग रहा है ना, it was a need for everybody to know what actually education purposes also. It is very important to know कि actually production designer
Yes.
मतलब job क्या है, क्यों है, कैसे बनना है, कैसे पहुंचना है उस तरीके से.
Yes.
So that is why this was it.
Can
I hope you
I
enjoyed.
say one last thing,
Of
please?
course.
If people who are watching this, if they have any doubts, they can always get back to me, and I'll happily tease them.
Well,
They can also come to my set. I'll see to it that they learn something on a set.
all right.
That's a promise from my
So,
side.
thank you so much.
Thank
once
you,
again.
Anish.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Masking. Leave it. I'll do it.
I'll just hold it.
हाँ. और एक वहाँ पे ना डालने के बाद पीछे से देखना है करेक्ट है क्या लेफ्ट तो मुझे गाली मत देना ये प्रोडक्शन डिजाइन किसने किया ये प्रोडक्शन डिजाइन अरे यार